Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ADVMoto Live number 27. We've got a very special show tonight. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. The thirst for adventure doesn't stop even with COVID making life difficult for many overland travelers. The effects this has exist on many levels and range far and wide. But living life on the road is still a dream for many. The question is, how do you support that lifestyle? We'll dive into this topic and more on tonight's ADVMoto Almost Live. All right. To kick off, we would like to note that this episode is not live but pre-recorded due to some unfortunate circumstances. Live or not, the show must go on, and we caught up with our guest who has spent the last 4 years riding around the world and on the road. In that time, she's not only managed to rack up some amazing experiences and stories, but also built a profitable social media presence. Everyone, please welcome tonight's guest, Kinga Tanajewska.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
That's right. All of our guests are super cool and get applaud tracks. Awesome stuff. Well, all right, Kinga. Thanks for coming on tonight's show. Could you please kind of start us off with, who you are and where you're at right now?
My name is Kinga Tanajewska. I've been traveling around the world for 4 years now on BMW F800 GS. I'm currently in Germany, having a little break from my travels. I came here for the summer and just to actually fix up my health, and every now and then we need that break to sort ourselves out. And I'm traveling through Africa, and I've been in Africa for over 2 years now. So yeah, in a month or so I'm going back on the road. So you caught me in Germany, that's why there's so much time difference between us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I think in Africa there would still be a good amount of time
difference. That is true. It's
yeah.
Time,
Yeah. I think the only times we don't have a time difference problem is when it's North America or South America.
Yes.
Yeah, South America tends to be fairly close.
Australia, yeah, you've got a big difference.
Yeah. Anyway, it's adventure riding is a global pursuit, and that's for sure. So, can you tell us, how did your adventure start? What was life like for you before you decided to hit the road? How did you realize, or was there a moment when you felt, I just need to get out there and just see this planet?
I think it's everyone. I mean, a lot of people dream, right, to travel around the world. But my little story is, well, I was born in Poland. I immigrated to Australia in 2005. I lived there for 12 years. I'm civil engineer, so I worked in industry. I worked in mining, and I'm specializing in concrete. I'm concrete freak. I'm very passionate about concrete. But anyway, this was my career. Nice apartment in Sydney, husband, good job, and just living that sort of life for many years. But I think it was the twist in my life when I had a head-on collision with a car. I broke my hand and leg. I had post-traumatic stress, and at the same time I separated with my husband, and I had extremely stressful job. So everything sort of what you really what really means, like, this is your life, yeah, your relationship, your health, your passion, and then the stress and the job and everything. It's just, I really snapped in pieces and got quite depressed. And after therapy and a little bit of waiting, I got my money from the head-on collision with the car, because I wasn't at fault. So I was covered by insurance. And when I got this money, I thought, this was moment now or never. Job can wait. I have no husband, and that's it. I have to go now, because if I stay here longer, I will not make that call. So this is it. I'm going. So I pretty much packed up and took off. And, I thought, okay, I've got enough money to travel for 2 years, that's for sure. And I thought within 2 years, I'll be able to circumnavigate the world. But it just stretched out a bit. And now I'm able to sustain myself on the road, and I just keep traveling. And I will do it for as long as it makes me happy and I can afford it. To be honest, this is my milestone.
Well, that's fantastic, and it's a serious milestone too. It's funny that you bring up the topic of PTSD. I think that topic generally, when we talk about it, at least you hear it on news or media, people generally refer to it in terms of like military service, combat action based
Yeah. I
PTSD
mean,
results.
trauma is trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
since then, I've actually worked with some of these guys, and you also tend to realize that, there's all kinds of it. It's not just service based, either military
Yeah.
or civil service based, but people can, have all kinds of things, whether it's an accident or anything in the childhood. I mean, it's an amazing phenomena that I think more people need to be aware of. But on the other side of that, it can cause great positive changes in
Mm.
someone's
Yeah.
life. You know,
Sometimes you really need to, reach the bottom, the rock bottom to sort of like, okay, you can't go lower than this. So everything from now on can be only get better.
that's right.
But yeah, it took me a long time yeah, to go through this. And I think riding a motorcycle is such good therapy, right? It's your stress relief. Of course, I couldn't even ride a bike because I wasn't in the right. I had to learn how to ride a motorcycle again. I couldn't turn. I was so stressed because when the car hit me head on, I was leaning. I was in a corner. I couldn't do
Oh,
corners. I literally couldn't even turn on a traffic light. I was so tense. So it was a long way for me to get back on a bike. And I
wow.
really suggest to everyone who's going through this problem, that especially head-on collision with a car, because you see you're gonna die and your brain is registering that I don't want to do it anymore. That's it. And the easiest way is just walk off, walk away from riding. And when my ex rolled me on a wheelchair to the psychologist, I said, I don't know how you're going to do this. I don't know how you're going to do this because I cannot even see myself on a bike again, but you have to do this. I need to be back on a bike. And she said, you're already halfway there because you want to. Normally people don't want to do it anymore because your brain just doesn't want to know about it. That's trauma. That is trauma. And it was long way in therapy to get me back on a bike, but I had the will. I wanted to do this, and I'm so glad I did, because of that I lived the life that I always dreamed about.
Right on. Did you have any people around you telling you, oh no, there's no way you should get back on a bike. Look at what happened.
Yeah, my
Blah blah
parents
blah.
mostly.
Or were people generally very supportive? Be like, like a lot of motorcyclists, especially in the ADV
Yeah,
world,
no,
were a little bit nuts,
yeah,
but the people around us kind of accept that, and they know that it's,
yeah.
healthy in
Actually,
a way.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm lucky that I lived in Australia, because Australians are so positive. So no matter what, they're gonna support you, and they're like, "Yes, go for it, girl." So my whole environment in Australia was very supportive.
Oh,
But yeah,
great.
Polish parents didn't help much. But I mean, their parents, yeah, they worry. They don't want me to ride because they worry,
Yeah.
or they're worrying about me all the time.
Yeah, of course, of course. So over the past 4 years, what are some of the countries that you've been to? What are some of the favorite places that you've seen so far?
So I shipped my bike from Australia to Korea, and then caught a ferry to Vladivostok to Russia, and rode through Central Asia, all the stands, Iran, and then Europe. And for the last 2 years, over 2 years, I'm in Africa because of COVID, of course. And most of the borders are closed. Even I can't go all the way around Africa anymore because the West Coast is closed. So I'm hanging around sort of south now because I've done the East Coast, and now I'm waiting for the States to open. And next year, hopefully, I'll ship it out to North America.
Well, that'd be awesome. And of course, you're more than welcome.
Thank
I mean,
you.
we're based on the East Coast. You are more than welcome to,
I'll pop in to say hi for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Hang out here. Maybe we could even have a little gathering,
Yeah, for sure. That'll be
and
awesome.
get some people
Thank you.
together or something like that. Have a little fun
Absolutely.
presentation or something. But yeah, well, that's awesome. So that'll be cool. So how has COVID, impacted your travel plans in general? I know that, the borders and stuff, I
Mhm.
mean, in the past it's been difficult. How do things look right now in the present, and you think going forward? I mean, just guessing. I know no one knows a firm number, but just guessing. When do you think things will open up?
Things are slowing at the moment, especially. I mean, I can only say for African continent, although the West Coast is closed, so that will be. I think it's just comfortable for them not to open the borders. It's not like it's pandemic. It's just comfortable for some countries not to reopen the borders because I'm not going to say why, but it's okay for them. They're not rely on tourism on West Coast, and they're just gone for a while. So that's why I'm going to ship out of Africa. I can't wait forever for West Coast to open. But in terms of East Coast and South, I mean, it was very strict. 2020, I was actually flying for the surgery in March, and I couldn't come back to Africa for 9 months. So I was in Europe and I was going crazy, absolutely nuts. Then I had to go to Portugal to apply visa for Mozambique, because that's a sort of post colony of Portugal. And then I had to arrange business visa. My friend helped me to get to Mozambique, and that was really difficult. And that was November. By this time, it's okay to get on tourist visa. So things loosen up. Some countries are closed, like Malawi, Zimbabwe, but majority of the countries that rely on tourism in Africa, they are open, and all you have to do is just to do COVID test before you enter the border, right? But I'm telling you, when I came back in November, right, and I've done Mozambique before, I've been to Malawi, and I felt so lonely. There was, it was completely different traveling. Before, Africa was like my most social continent. There were people everywhere. There were travelers. There were ADV riders. It was just such social journey. If you want to be by yourself, you're by yourself. If not, you stay in a hostel and you talk to other travelers, or you meet up with people who are crossing your paths. It was fantastic. And now, I'm doing like two countries that I've done it. I know how they are in normal, during normal times. It made me so sad and depressed. I was in Malawi. I was the only tourist for 2 months because the country was locked. Like I literally got sneaked in. They let me in, and every lodge I was going to, no one, just me. And then it's like, okay, I mean, I like my own company, don't get me wrong, but I was like going mental, like no one even to have a beer with. Like sometimes lodge owners, but they paranoid as well. They were like, in the hostels, staying away. And I was like getting depressed. Like this is, I mean, just because you're solo doesn't mean you want to be by yourself all the time,
Yeah.
And then when I crossed to Zambia, which was open, and Zambia is a transit country because everyone's sort of from Namibia going to Tanzania, Kenya. That's where all the transit goes, in Africa. So now finally, local riders, finally travelers, and I was like, oh yes, life is good again.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, well, hopefully within the next 2 to 3, hopefully by 2022, 2023. I mean, I hope things sort of go back to normal,
Yeah, I
you
think so
know?
too. I think so. I mean, especially with all the vaccinations, I can tell by Europe now, all right? Comparing this summer to summer 2020, it's different. There's not as many cases, and yeah, they talk about fourth wave and stuff like that. And I'm sure there will be some, the cases will increase because immunity will go down during autumn. But I think we're on our way out. I really think so. To me, it looks like that. I mean, it will take maybe another year really free, maybe, but we're getting better. Definitely, it's not like 2020 at all.
Would you happen to know what the vaccination rate is for most of Europe? I'm sure it varies from country to country because of supply and stuff, but I mean, is there more than
Yeah,
half of the
in
adults or?
Poland and Germany. Yeah, Poland is quite stubborn. Like a lot of Polish don't get vaccination. It's around 50, but I was speaking to someone here in Germany today, and they said it's around 60. So it's not a lot either because it's a big population. I mean, they have 70 million people, I think, living in Germany. But so yes, it's not where this the whole medical care is expecting it to be, but it's better than nothing, right? I don't think if it wasn't for the vaccinations, I mean, there would be way more cases at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So it's pretty amazing, right? Along the way, at some point in time, you decided to make video and other social media, as a means of supporting your ride. Was that an easy decision to make? Did you have a media background before that? I mean, how did that whole thing start?
Actually, I started my YouTube in 2014, or maybe even 13. I can't remember when I posted my first video. But that was from my trip around Australia, and I thought I'm such a legend. I went around Australia, like, yay. And I did just 2 little videos, and that's how I started my YouTube sort of well, not, I wouldn't say career. It's just like my presence, right? Presence on YouTube. And back then, it's not like there were a lot of other vloggers, but I really started doing it regularly when I hit the road and I went around the world. And at the start, I was doing 2 videos a month because it was just too hard. And now I'm doing 4 videos a month, which is like once a week, which is still that amount of work. And I do have editor, I do have half edits, but still, it's like producing one video for me, minimum 2 days of work, and then when you upload it, another day of work. So it's like 3 days committed work just per one video. So there's no way for me I can do more than once a week, because otherwise I will be chained to my computer and I wouldn't travel because I wouldn't just have time to gather the content.
Yeah.
So for me, this is how I work. But I never thought really. If you asked me 4 years ago, oh, it's already 4.5 years ago when I left Australia. If you tell me like I'll be making money and this is going to be my main income, and this because just because of the videos, like, you crazy. It was just not back then. No one thought about it. So the community already knew me, right? Knew me, like community already knows me from back in the days, right? Because I'm on YouTube for quite some time. But getting on YouTube now, I reckon it's so hard. I mean, the competition is massive. It's like it feels like everyone is doing it. So I think if I tried to do it now, I don't think I could. I would survive, to be honest.
Oh, you mean like if you tried to start up a
Start
channel now?
yeah, I think I would just given up because, like I said, like I've got audience who follows me for a long time, but to build that audience, it's years. Like for me, it's like I'm since 2014, and I still my channel is still tiny comparing to other traveling channels. You know what I mean? We sort of adventurizers, we sort of like the niche, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's enough for me. I mean, I'm getting paid every month by YouTube, so definitely it's enough for me to keep traveling. So that's great. And like I don't have push for popularity. I think my YouTube is exactly where I want it to be. It's manageable. I can reply to the comments. But it's not just YouTube itself. I'm comparing to Instagram and Facebook and everything else, right? So it's like everything combined, the whole social media. It's exactly where I want to be. Not too big, not too stressful. I mean, it is stressful as it is, but I could, if I was thinking you have a million views, I'm like, I think that would be like, I would be so stressed out. It's like, this is serious now. Now I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's casual, it's nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like that, it's like that middle stage where it's just like you're
Yeah,
comfortable because
it's
you're not trying to get
good.
off the ground.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I don't need more. I'm so happy because I mean, the more popular you get, the more pressure you get. And
Mm.
popularity is awful. I think it's awful to be someone who's like famous. I would never like to be famous. No way. Your pride, like I really, in my privacy is everything to me. And just because few people know you in our small community, it's fantastic because you have connections. Like I get to talk to you, I get to talk to a lot of people who I follow, and I think they're such legends. So it's really good for relations. Like I get to meet
Know
fantastic
people.
people
Yeah.
and get to know people exactly.
Yeah.
And if my account was tiny, no one would talk to me. So it's like really nice that they have the time and they meet me on the road, like Lyndon Proscott or Tim Burke. I met so many fantastic people and the girls, like so many, like Leah Rake or Senior, like so many people I met just because of I'm active on social media. So that is absolutely priceless. And yeah, it's exactly the level, the manageable level, not too much. It's still, you still have your privacy. It's great.
Yeah. What is that saying? Give me the fortune, keep the fame.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly right. Give me the fortune, keep the fame. Anyway,
Mhm.
so nevertheless, even though you've been doing it for several years and there's still a lot of people coming up, you still have to keep the content somehow, let's say fresh, innovative, but it has to be stuff that people want to watch. Like the YouTube community, the watchers are different than a traditional broadcast stuff that we may have grown up with, with our major channels and, all this other kinds of stuff, right? Remember, Because like when I was growing up, there was no video on demand. So, if you wanted to watch a show at 8 o'clock, you had to be sitting, your butt in front of a TV
Mm,
screen at 8 o'clock, and usually the whole family or all your friends, you would all kind of gather around and you would watch the program. But now because there's so much content being created and pumped out, and a lot of them are basically by individuals or very small teams, one or two people, sometimes at most. You
mhm.
know, how do you keep the content uh, I mean, I don't want to overuse the
Fresh.
word fresh, but
I know
but
what you mean.
but kind of like attractive to your target audience viewers. I mean, what kind of things do you think they like to see?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I'm just like, I just record random stuff on the
Uh-huh.
road, and then I just work with what I've got. I'm really not planning things ahead. But you know what I've noticed? Okay, if you're asking me what I've noticed on my channel, so
Mm-hmm.
I think my audience are really committed writers. So if in episode there's not enough writing or like just pure writing shots, people are not watching it so much as they would if there is writing included. So, for example, my last episode from last week, I think it's freaking epic. It's from acrobatic aeroplane out in Namibia. It's like
Yeah, I saw that. That was
epic.
beautiful.
I mean, right? And people don't watch it so much as the previous episode. And I think this episode is so much better. Before it was just like one big party with with a bunch of Namibians. But there was like some writing there, and it's. I've noticed that, and or sometimes if I make about people, I'm going to craft center or doing interview about someone that is bike not related. Those videos are not watched as much as I just pure motorcycling videos. But
Moto topics,
yeah,
traveling places, showing people what this place was like, what this road was like, and
not
the food you
necessarily.
had.
And this is the thing. Not necessarily explaining stuff about definitely I'm not National Geographic. I'm just recently I started to talk to the camera a little bit more than like few seconds, right? I'm really not that type of person who just carries on a selfie sticks and just like follow me, I'll show you everything. No way, it's just not me. But and I'm trying to actually decrease my face on my videos because I think it's so narcissistic. So if I am talking about
Mm.
the place, I will grab someone who knows it. Like now I'm editing, there will be a video from the cheetah place. Why I have to walk around and talk about cheetahs when there is a person who works there and can tell better story, right? So straight away, if I can just shift my camera from my face, I'll take any opportunity. And because clearly I just can't look at my face when I'm editing too. Like if it's too much of it, I'm just like, oh my God, this is just so bad. But I
Mm-hmm.
know I know people need to see me every now and then. I understand that, right? So a little bit narration here and there. So this is pretty much my style. And then lots of writing, and then just if I can include people, they're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that really brings about an interesting question slash dilemma, which is a lot of the really like the most popular YouTubers,
Mm-hmm.
it's all them. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and a lot of
it's
people
a
like
it's a
that. It's a different crowd, I think. I mean, there's
yeah.
certain people love that, right? But I think crowd who follows me, maybe they're just used to it. They won't see me too much. I mean, now these days they see me a lot. Before they hardly ever see me. So I mean, it was just footage from everywhere and writing, not so much me. So I had
Mhm.
like came a long way from not to start showing my face, but it's just my personality, right? There's no right or wrong. There's place for everyone on YouTube, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who look at their vlogger's face, and that's great. And there's a lot of them that they like the balance, eh? And I think
Yeah.
that's my crowd.
And I think the topic also impacts
Mm,
impacts that. Like, are you talking about finance? Are you talking about personal electronics? Are you talking about travel? Are you talking about whatever? Probably the topic will impact, right, the type of viewership too as well. But
sure.
but if you're someone that's starting it up, these are massive questions, right? It's just like, well, do I have to be comfortable in front of a camera? Can I just produce this and literally have my face on the camera almost never, right? Or do I have to spam my face on the camera in order to be recognized or brand myself? These are all really, really heavy questions because it's not, you
Yeah,
know, you're
Of
you're
course.
doing your own promoting too, right? So that's different.
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, yeah. Look, it's you cannot say this is the right way or wrong way. People have to find their own identity online, and they will find their own crowd, And there is no right or wrong. I don't know. It's this, I'm doing it this way. People are watching it. I'm happy they are because thanks to that, I can continue my traveling and show them more of the world the way I want
I want to see it.
to
Yeah.
project it for them to them as well, right? But definitely, yeah, it's just me, my personality, and I think it's okay.
Okay, awesome. Now, you'd mentioned, about going on camera. So, uh, also stated that you're getting more comfortable with it. Now, I think being on camera is inherently uncomfortable for most people. I think some people are naturally comfortable on camera and they just really shine on camera. They would almost rather be on camera,
Sure. Yeah.
right? But but you know, are there a couple of tricks that you've picked up over the past few years about developing what I always call the on-camera persona?
I'll tell you when I started to talk on the camera. What really helped me. I remember, okay, before I left for my round the world trip, I had a podcast with ADV Rider, guys from Canada. I was shitting my pants, excuse my language. I was like this because I had to do a podcast over the phone. And that wasn't even live. You know what I mean? I was so stressed out. Interviews, oh my God, public speaking, oh my God, forget about it. I had glossophobia. I don't know if you know what glossophobia is. Glossophobia is the phobia from public speaking.
Mm.
I, I had a job where I had to do presentations. Like it, I came such long way. Okay, because of the job, I improved it a little bit, but even like being in the front of the camera, giving interviews, it was awful, awful stress for me. And what really, so that's why my first videos, not so much talking because I would like literally get to the, and I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to say. Uh, But you sit down with me and we drink a beer. I can tell you stories and my hands will be in the air and I could just, I wouldn't shut up. But the moment the camera, nothing, nothing. So what really helped me, what I've noticed, like my transition, what helped me in my transition was Insta stories. Because recording a little video that it's only there for 24 hours, I wasn't as stressed about it that it's there and will be there on YouTube forever. It's just this innocent little video that I was so relaxed about it. And that's how actually I started talking on my YouTube videos. I would record everything in landscape mode and I would do a story on Instagram. And then if that footage is okay, that speaking is okay, I would include it in the video. And slowly, it's just all about practice, really. And even now, I like, we were scheduling this interview for a long time, right? Because yeah, there was a lot of problems lately in my life, but let's not go with that during this interview. And yeah, so I would be seriously, normally 4 years ago, I wouldn't sleep for 3 nights before, and even live, forget about it. But now look at me 4 years later, I'm fine. It's just okay. We've got 1 hour gap. Let's do it now. Smash it out. It's like, oh, I forgot to send you a question. Oh, that's okay. We're just gonna go with the flow. No problem. So I'm very proud of myself. It was a long way, and but it's all about practice. It's like with riding a motorcycle, it's like fighting post-traumatic stress. It's the same thing with speaking to the camera. Start your videos. This is the only advice I have for people who want to start YouTube, and like just talk whatever you can. Don't stress out. Put whatever you can now, and within time your YouTube videos will be better and better, and you will find your style, you will find your way, and you will find the crowd who's watching you, the way what they like and how they engage. And I think it's just everyone needs to start with something, and the beginnings are always hard, and we never know how it's going to shift and which way it's going to go. Like things just going to work out.
Sure, sure. Now, this is a question. You talk about, crowds and liking you. How much how much do you think it's important for a YouTuber to play to SEO, or you know what I mean? Like, be trying to, like solicit the likes, the subscribes, contests, comments, all these kinds of things. I mean, do you find that a distraction to your content, or do you think it's fun because it's, part of the interaction and part of the feedback that you get?
I think you have to be engaging. At the start, I think for first, I think maybe 2 years, three, I was not engaging on YouTube at all, simply because I had no time. And I thought, and then Facebook, and then I'm like, I have no time. Like, this is just like too much, too much. So I said, oh, something needs to give up. So YouTube, okay. And back then, YouTube was, I told you before, like, I actually learned that YouTube's got algorithm like this year, right? Like, wow. Because before, YouTube worked on a completely different, whatever you were putting there, people were watching. Now, I found out that I actually have to think about what captions I'm going to put and what title I'm going to, and I have to be engaged. And so the algorithm is, sort of playing towards you. Otherwise, if you don't put all this hard work, no one will see your video. It's not like your content is shit. YouTube is just not going to display it. And so no one's going to see it unless they go into your profile, and who's got time for this? It's like, it's all suggested videos, right? So it has changed because there's so much content. There's so much content there now and so much competition. That's what I'm saying to you. There's no way I will make it this year, at this time, because I still can't work out this algorithm seriously. Like 2 years ago, people, like, by a week, I already had 50,000 views. Now I'm like struggling to get 50,000 views, like sometimes in a month. So it's yeah, what saves me, I have a lot of videos. I have over 100 videos. So, bit by bit, everything is making money.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, but I just don't. Yeah, I'm a very bad person to ask advice about how to how to play with algorithm and how to make it popular, because I'm actually still trying to work it out for my own channel, because YouTube has changed a lot, and I'm like, I don't know how we say, people, like, I feel like I'm a like a pensioner on YouTube.
No, I feel like I'm a pensioner on YouTube. Look at me, man, sitting here doing keep all this old school print world together.
Yeah,
Trying to
sure.
offer all the options. They say if they want it carrier pigeon, send it by carrier pigeon, but it's not always easy. And then you're right. I mean, it's not just YouTube. Instagram. That's algorithms now. Facebook went to algorithms a long time ago. Twitter, straight up. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Twitter used to be one-to-one, but now it's also algorithms. But I know Instagram used to be one-to-one, but I think maybe when the user base got so big and all this other kinds of stuff, they had to filter it. And of course, that introduced a manner to, you know, encourage people to pay to promote and,
Yeah.
and all this kinds of stuff, so, everyone can have their pound of flesh from the content. You know what I mean? But, that's all, I guess part of trying to sweat and hustle for the business, right? You know what I mean? So you don't really have a strategy in terms of like, all right, I'm going to lay out, my shows for the next, 2 months or something like that, right? And they're going to be, kind of like, oh, this time it's going to be, something that's instructional. This time it's going to be purely, like reporting, entertainment. You just kind of make whatever happens in your life.
Oh, whatever. Right? Can you hear me properly? Everything is good on my side, because I can.
Yeah,
Sometimes you
it
cut
is
off.
breaking up a little bit, but
Okay,
you're
good.
okay now. You're okay now.
Mm,
Did you get my question? Did my question break up on you?
okay. 'Cause, so yeah, no. I, I, no, no, no. Okay, I got your question. So I just go with the flow, and I have no plan. I do have a lot of ideas what would be nice to have on YouTube, but I don't do it because I have no time. So I do have ideas, but it's like, oh my god, like so much work with all this content from the road. And then it's like, okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna have this 2 months off break in Poland. I'm gonna do it all, and then just stuff happens, and I just never get my head around it, and just, okay, I'm just gonna stick to the videos from the road. Yes, I've got a lot of things that I should do to get the clicks, and I know people would like to watch it, and like you're saying, instructional, like I did this 2 episode, like how to prep. I should do COVID and stuff like that, but of course,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have no
yeah, well,
time.
that's okay. So what's in your gear bag? So what's in your gear bag? Like what kind of equipment do you carry to make this? You know? How much money do you need to
A
put
lot of stuff.
into yeah, okay, so you need a laptop.
Yeah, a laptop, drone, two GoPro, actually three GoPros now because one 360, two normal ones, then the normal camera, and then just a lot of cosmetics and stuff.
Cosmetics and stuff. Gotta look,
And
gotta look,
clothes.
gotta look fresh for the fans, yo. Gotta look fresh for the fans.
No, you have to look after your skin because
Oh
I'm living in
yeah.
harsh conditions. Okay.
Yeah. Totally. So, what would you say? You got a laptop? What kind of laptop? Is it Apple PC or what? Mac?
No, just the PC. I mean, just
Right.
the Windows one. I don't know what brand is.
Sure. Right on. So you get that, and you got three GoPros. So you don't carry a DSLR or anything.
Yeah, I do have. It's like a Fuji X-T2. So I carry that. I hardly ever use it, but I do carry it when I have to
Mm.
speaking shots and stuff like that.
How do you do your Instagram? Do you use your photos or do you use screen captures from the video for your
No,
Instagram?
I don't know how people can get good screen captions from
Yeah,
the videos. I think it's
yeah,
so crap. So no,
I
of
know,
course,
but
pictures.
so you use your still camera for your Instagram feed stuff.
Mostly my Google phone.
Oh, your phone too as well. How much of your stuff? How much of your stuff do you record on your phone? I mean,
A
like.
lot, too much. I should be more professional, but sometimes it's just so easy because you stop. Oh yeah, let's go. Right. But yeah, now I'm planning to buy myself a little bit smaller camera because the Fuji is like, oh my god, to carry it on the on a sort of like a little tripod, it's just too heavy. So that's why I'm not using it. The camera is too heavy. I need something smaller that I can just like put it in my bag and just take it out and just do it. So I'm planning to buy another camera,
Oh, okay,
something
that's
simple.
cool. So then you get all your footage together. You're cranking this out on your laptop, right?
No, so I work with editors. So I've got
Ah, okay, good.
I've got two editors now. Well, Joanna is now unavailable. My editor that we worked together for 4 years. So now her boyfriend is helping me out, which is great because we're sort of on the same page. He knows my sort of we all know each other.
That's good.
So they from Romania, and I found Joanna on Upwork just randomly, first person who just contacted me. And we've been working together since. So the way it works, this is another logistics, right? So that's why my content is delayed. So I would have, let's say, I don't know, 1 terabyte of footage, probably not. Okay, let's say 1 terabyte of footage, right? And I would upload it to the cloud, send it to Joanna if I have reception. Sometimes just I have to send it in the SIM cards because the internet is so expensive. I can't upload it anywhere. And then she would go and cut down. Okay, she would send me 1 hour. She would go through all the cameras. That's the hardest. That's the most consuming job, is go through all that footage and select some best ones, right? And then she would send me 1 hour. And this is where I'm coming in. I'm going like seeing this 1 hour and I divide it in episodes and I said, this needs to be shifted here. I'm pretty much directing it, right? So the captions, the music, fade in, fade out, move it there, delete it, speed it up, slow down. I mean, I'm still very heavily involved in every episode because if I just give it the footage, there's no story whatever. Like especially I'm not talking that much, so
Mm.
I express myself with footages, which I have it. This is my memory, so I want it to be in order, and so pretty much I'm spending 2 full days from my side. I'm not even talking about Joanna's side to create one video. So 2 full days from my side. So it's still a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole ton of work. I think a lot of people don't understand. Like if they haven't produced a video, they don't understand even
No.
just choosing when to cut like to cut a clip and
Yeah.
transition into something else and then audio. I mean, it's a
Exactly.
fairly complex project. Even for something that's 60 seconds can be very long.
Exactly. I know. Thank you. I think if someone hasn't tried, upload videos every 3 days. No, because it takes me 2 days to actually, you know, reply all the comments. It's a full day of publishing a video, so that's 3 days. So if I like and write and gather content if I'm going to post stuff every 3 days. There's no way. Having I need to send it back. I have to have a good reception. Then we have to sit down and do the rest. I mean, it's a lot of work, a lot. But if I didn't have editor, I would never ever publish stuff on YouTube. I would never find the time, because for me to go through all this content, it would be like 2 weeks to produce one video, and now it's 2 days. So it's a big, it's much more efficient.
Yeah, it is.
Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. No way. No way.
Yeah, it is a huge project, especially doing it on a regular basis. Again, it used to be people waited for video content because they understood, and then when you presented it, it was generally higher quality. But now, video content comes out like Coke bottles out of a machine. People are just constantly, oh, here's more, and it's all free, right? So everybody, I mean, people are just consuming this like eating popcorn, but at the same time, on the backside of it, it's not as easy as popping popcorn to make a video.
And we make it look so easy, right? It's like, I'm just driving around the world on a motorcycle. How hard it can be just to like do a video and publish a picture, and then it's like, it's just so easy. We make it look so easy. It's not. There's a lot of logistics behind it.
There's a ton of work to it. Yeah. So as far as like surviving on this, right? I mean, like without having to give away too much information, what kind of budget have you found that you could survive with, on the road, at least, traveling the way that you've been traveling thus far, right? And what does someone need to target in their social media income, as far as probably YouTube, because no one else pays you for content. I mean, Instagram doesn't pay you for content. Twitter, Facebook doesn't pay you for content. It's quite the opposite. You have to pay them to promote your content, right? But on YouTube,
actually, well, the people are making money on Instagram. I've never done any cent on Instagram, but there are paid posts, and a lot of people are doing it. Although it's not so popular in our industry. I think it's more maybe like influencers in fashion and that sort of stuff. Like they get paid for paid posts. So people make money on Instagram, although it's not so popular.
No, but I'm saying Instagram themselves wouldn't pay you. Like if you had a paid post.
No, just the brands will pay.
Yeah, the brands will pay you, but I'm saying like on YouTube pays you for viewership because of advertising placement, right? But on Instagram, you don't have any of that. Facebook, Twitter, I don't even think TikTok, although I'm not very familiar with TikTok, but I don't even think you have that there either, right? On those platforms, you pay them. What?
I started TikTok, but
and what are your thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I'm trying it, but just like I keep forgetting that I need to do the stuff because it's just like I'm pensionary when it comes to social media. Like whatever I started before, I mean, but now new stuff. I think like if sometimes I turn on TikTok. It's like if I'm in a bad mood and I turn it on, and it's like, oh my god, people are doing such crazy stuff, and like it just makes me laugh. So I think, and new audience is it's more for younger sort of people. Facebook is our generation. It's dying. Like it will die with us, right? But if you want to reach, new generation, I think there's nothing wrong with TikTok. I just don't know. I still haven't cracked it. I don't know how to do stuff there. I'm still learning.
Well, they've got us jumping through a lot of hoops, that's for sure. Yeah. So at what level, at least as far as YouTube is concerned, right? Like, how much have you found you need to survive on the month? How much have you found you need to survive on a monthly basis, right? And then, what kind of viewership, do you target, like numbers per video, like viewers per video, in order to get the money you need to survive?
Oh, I'm not sure how. This is like a big calculation. I can tell you how much money I spend a year, and that's
okay.
Yeah, so I'm spending $25,000 a year on my travels, and that's everything, like food, accommodation, cameras, because I keep breaking them, like whatever, visas, everything, right? All my costs. I'm very lucky because I'm a sponsored rider, so I get the gear for free, I get tires for free, but I pay for my own services. I always did. And like food, accommodation, and fuel, like of course I'm paying from my own pocket. I only get the gear for free. So yeah, so this is pretty much my budget. And I also started not to have just one income, and to be a little bit, I don't know. And plus I just really wanted to have t-shirts that I want to wear, so I started t-shirt shop. So this is my other income. So this plus this combined, yeah, definitely it's enough for me to travel without stress.
Oh, well, that's great.
And okay, I wanted how to make money on YouTube. I've got a good tip. You really want to target United States. They pay the best for the ads. So first of all, speak English. I know now we've got most of your crowd is from the States, so it's like obvious. But maybe someone from Europe or from some other, not that English is not his native language. For me as well, Polish is my native language, right? And English is my second language, but definitely speak English. So you get exposure in the States, you get exposure pretty much everywhere else around the world, right? If I was speaking Polish, I would making with the same views no money in Poland, because let's say for the same amount of, let's say, just to make the numbers, it's not like that, but I'm just going to make the numbers so it's like everyone on the same page, right? It's like we've got 1,000 views on YouTube. If that 1,000 views are watched in the States, I'll make $10. If the same amount of 1,000 views are watched in Poland or India or just economies that are not paying that much for the ads on YouTube, I will make 10 cents for the same 1,000 views.
Whoa.
I mean, it's massive difference. 10 times.
Wow.
I know. That's why it's so important to speak English and target US. And because, and then again, people from Scandinavia will watch it. That's really good economy that pays well, like Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, right? But if you speak English, everyone around the world, Australia, Canada, they pay really well. UK, the rest of the world, not so much.
Well, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. So what is next for Kinga? I mean, where are you going, and what stuff do we have to look forward to? I know you mentioned that you were going to be trying to come to the States, but more immediately in the future, what are your future destinations, and do you have any cool projects that we can look forward to, or maybe the title of a next video or something fun like that?
Well, on my YouTube for the next few weeks will be all my content from Namibia, which I'm telling you, it's like epic, mate, epic. It's just one of my favorite countries by far I've ever seen. So beautiful. So there will be a lot of riding. I think my followers will be very happy. my YouTube crowd, because there will be lots of dead road and lots of dust and lots of deserts. It's going to be epic. Hopefully, I haven't gone through all the content yet, but because I was quite sick, so I didn't talk much. But that's okay. Will be lots of riding. And of course, I'm coming back to in September. That's the plan for today. I'm coming back to Namibia to finish it all because I only spent there 5 weeks, and I was just like half of the country, just not enough. And that's rushing so much. Like the moment I left paved road for 1,600 kilometers, I didn't see asphalt. How epic is that? I mean, you can only get that in Australia. That's it. Nowhere else.
Wow.
I know. And so then I'll come back to Namibia to finish it all, and then Botswana, Zimbabwe, back to South Africa, and ship it out. So I'm hoping to ship out at the start of the year to North America. I don't know, Canada or the States. Cool. I still haven't. I don't know yet.
That's okay. There's still a little bit of.
So wait for me, I'm coming.
Absolutely, we will keep the lights on. And you'll just have to kind of feel it out, I think, as you get closer to the date. I think planning anything right now would be extremely difficult, if not impossible.
It's just not pointless. Yeah, exactly. Things will change probably 100 times.
Yeah, that's really okay. And the last question.
But yeah, I'm ready. I'm really ready to move on to another continent.
Awesome. Well, the last question is, and this is one we ask everybody. Do you have any inspirational words for future adventure riders out there?
Yes, do it while you can. One life, one chance. Do it now. And don't listen to people who haven't done similar things because they're going to put you down to tell you that it's dangerous, whatever. Don't listen to them. Only listen to people who've done it, and I've done it. Don't be scared. It's fine. It's only the first week that it's weird when you solo, whatever. But then you just get used to it, and life is great. So don't wait. Do it now. Don't waste your life.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming on and sharing a lot of your really valuable experience.
Thank you so much for having me. That was awesome.
No,
Thank you.
no, of
And
course.
thank you for being so considerate and not pushing me for making it live.
No, that's okay. That's okay. You know what? Everybody is in a different situation. And if you deal with the world of adventure seekers and lovers, you kind of come to realize that, all of us are on different pages sometimes. But what brings us
So,
together is the fact that we love new horizons and we love, sharing them with people and showing people that it can be done. And you don't have to be, special, have a lot of money, have a lot, or be in this life situation or whatever.
mm,
Anybody can do it. You just have to make up your mind and make it happen. And
for
that's the
sure.
that's
That's
the
it.
beauty of it.
That's it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, please stick around for a few minutes while we wrap up the show for AD Briefing. But again, it was very cool, and I'll talk to you in a second.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Well, all right. That's been super awesome. Thanks again to Kinga for coming on the show. Despite a lot of things that have been going on, it's been very difficult, but I'm glad that we've made it. And, it sounds like it's been an amazing 4 years and many lessons learned and still many lessons to learn. And that's how you know you're living a successful life. But for more, please be sure to visit onherbike.com or check out her social accounts at On Her Bike. I think the main one is Instagram, but also I believe things are posted on Facebook as well. We will, of course, put links in the show description. But now, on to our next show. All right. Everyone, please join us next month for another great ADVMoto Live, this time number 28, on, I believe, September 9th. That should be a Thursday, with Ryder and Joe Stelmach. We met Joe at a recent ADVMoto meetup and discovered Joe is not only a fantastic rider, but his son, who's also named Ryder, is rocking the Pee Wee flat track world. We're super pumped to talk with them both about what makes riding and racing fun for kids and what parents need to know when saddling up so early. As always, your support is super appreciated and keeps the motorcycle world running. Visit adventuremotorcycle.com for more stories, news, reviews, podcasts, and more. Don't forget to mash and like the subscribe buttons and let us know if you would like to see any particular topics or guests on the show in the comments below. Until next time, everybody, from everyone here at ADVMoto, ride safe, have fun, and the adventure is you.